Hey, what's up? It's time for another rock hard tale of the tapes. Today we're going to take a look at Metal Church, Blessing in Disguise from 1989. Metal Church, very interesting band. This is the first album. Mike Howe would be on vocals. Before that, it was David Wayne, and they were part of the, the early 80s, mid-80s thrash scene that was going on. They were out of Seattle. They had some ties, with the guys from Metallica and all that group. So they were right in the middle of that. And then David Wayne, their singer, he went his separate ways in 1989, and they brought in Mike Howe from the band Heretic. It really changed the dynamic of the band. Kurt Vanderhoof also was gone, although he was certainly a big part of this release. And filling in for him was John Marshall. This album was epic. It was really different than their first couple releases. Before Metallica kind of changed their sound a little bit with the Black Album, this one really changed the way thrash was being perceived. And, I have a tough time calling this even your traditional thrash. I mean, the two main songs, Fake Healer was, I don't know, how do you want to call it, mid-tempo, but it had a real groove to it. And then Badlands had some thrash elements, but it was just an epic, epic song. The whole album was just fantastic. I can't say enough about this one. I thought it should have catapulted them to another level. And in some ways it did, but never, the mainstream success that Megadeth and Metallica and even Testament had. Metal Church never quite reached that pinnacle. Now, Mike Howe would stay for another couple albums into the 90s, and then they'd split things up a little bit. And then David Wayne came back for an album. And then here's the strange thing, and I apologize to Ronnie Monroe, but there were 4 albums with Ronnie Monroe on vocals in the 2000s that a lot of people just kind of forget about because, David Wayne had a very distinct voice. Mike Howe did too, but they were certainly 2 completely different singers as well. The band had just they were like a chameleon or they could just change their sound completely. I mean, you looked at Blessing in Disguise and then their first album, totally different. Really different sound. They're very, very talented guys in the band. That's why they're still around. And Mike Howe is back in the band, and they're having great success with him in there. It seems like people were really hungry to hear some stuff from that era again, especially Blessing in Disguise. I think this has been really, over time, stayed very relevant. Even the sound is still pretty relevant as well. Had some early kind of power metal songs to it. Powers That Be, The Spell Can't Be Broken. It's just a great metal album from a great metal band, Metal Church. Very appropriate name for them as well. So that's another rock hard tale of the tapes. Join us again next time. You can check us out online at rockandhardplace.rocks.